Yeah, some in-ring news. AJ Styles has revealed that he originally intended to hang up his boots last year at WrestleMania 41 rather than at the Royal Rumble. In a new vlog uploaded by WWE chronicling the lead up to his match against Gunther in Riyadh, Styles explained the change in his timeline. He said, quote, everybody wants to retire at WrestleMania, right? The biggest show of the year that we do. And I was going to do exactly that. But I had just come back from an injury that it was supposed to retire me, because that injury retires most people. He's referring there to this Lisfranc injury. But he continued, but once I healed up and was comfortable enough running and doing what I needed to do to be AJ Styles, it just didn't feel right to come back for 2 months just to retire. And I thought, what better way to leave than on the pay-per-view where you debuted? So that was the change of plan. He also, during this vlog, talked about his renewed friendship with CM Punk, and he said, I thought this was interesting. I didn't really know they had so much beef, but he said, we're living proof that people live and learn, forget, forgive, and move on. Life's too short to be angry with each other over stupid things. Me and Punk don't think on a lot of the same things, but that doesn't separate us from being friends and being appreciative of each other. And of course, WWE will be hosting the tribute to Styles on Raw this coming Monday in his home state of Georgia. Company are reportedly flying in SmackDown talent as well to Atlanta for this segment.
Yeah, I'm sure there have been other public instances, perhaps, but one that does come to mind is this tweet from 2020 where somebody tweeted, a lot of people snitching on themselves. When people tell you who they are, believe it. Might be unfortunate and disappointing if you're a fan of that person or if it's your grandmother, but fuck them. Goodbye. One fan retweets, right? Silence speaks volumes. Seeing AJ Styles promote streams and shit, but couldn't be bothered to post anything made it clear how he feels. That, I believe this was during George Floyd. So he says that was a tough unfollow. CM Punk responds, well, come on, that one's been obvious for years. So at least that seems to, point some reference towards maybe, where they may differ. Punk at least offering some public, shade at AJ Styles at one time. But this video...
Now that you bring that up, I have a vague recollection of it.
Yeah. But this video, like 20 something minutes long, like follows AJ, in spurts throughout like I think the weeks leading up to, the retirement match, and then a lot during the night of the retirement match itself. And there's a lot of hugging in this video, and a lot of real emotion. In fact, like I was watching it and I got emotional watching it because you're seeing people that are, effectively saying goodbye to a colleague that in some instances they've had for like 20 something years. He spoke about R-Truth and having wrestled him on like at NWA Wildside or like, or some like in the year 2000, he said. So there's that. There's Woods. All these people that he seems to have very close relationships with, and you just get the sense that through this video that AJ was an incredibly beloved person, backstage, and a lot of people taking it very seriously. He also seems to like indicate, I think, a real attitude towards like teaching and coaching the next generation. He had a lot to say to Kalani Jordan, actually, about like his first question after his retirement match was like, how did your match go? Like he was concerned about her match more so than like, himself who had just retired. So, I feel like this to me seems to like officially close the door. If it wasn't already firmly closed before all of this, that I don't think he's coming back, everybody, at least not for a full-time run to me anywhere anytime soon. But you're still going to get that speculation, of course.
Always, but I do feel, this was a serious, this is a real retirement. There's no work here, people. And I never really thought there was. I thought he was serious about it. It was kind of spoiled by Shinsuke, as we know in his diary entry that was deleted a few weeks ago as well. That he'd planned to do this.
That wasn't in the vlog. I would have loved to have seen AJ react to the tweet or the Instagram post.
But it's interesting, I think, that like you said, he seems to be a really beloved figure by pretty much everyone at the company. I don't know. I feel like perhaps this is a guy who's mellowed or become nicer over the years? I really don't know. I don't know that. I simply don't know that he had that kind of reputation when he was at TNA. But no one seems to have a bad word to say about the guy. In the past few years and during his WWE run, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting that he was already considering retirement last year and came back. So I guess like what I would love to ask is contractually how that worked out, you know? Like, first of all, did you take from the answer that he was about to be forced to retire because of the injury? And therefore was just going to come back. Like, how did you take it? So, like, let's say before the Liz Frank foot injury, he would. Do you think he was going to retire at WrestleMania that year?
I don't know. I don't think that's clear at all. I think,
or was it that he got injured and then decided I'm going to retire, but at WrestleMania?
Yes, I think that's what he means about the original plan to retire at WrestleMania. That, you know, were he able to come back, he would work some sort of perhaps limited match at WrestleMania and hang it up. But as we know, he came back absolutely enormous and seemingly fully healed.
And, the ice baths. Yeah, was that ice bath AJ?
Yes, I think so. And so, you know, I take fully on board that coming back for a couple of months and then retiring in that shape when he was...
I imagine I'd love to know contractually how that would work out, whether or not like he was just simply writing out the rest of the contract, or like if he had more dates attached to it or whatever. I'd also love to know if they had any consideration about promoting his retirement in advance, like in more of a big way, you know, rather than having it suddenly appear, you know, in January. But I also imagine there being maybe some conflict in promoting dual retirements at the same time with while you're being, you know, knee deep in the John Cena one, of course.
That would be my suspicion. Was the focus last year was really all on John Cena and no one else, no matter how high up the card they are. So even if the powers that be had known Royal Rumble would be it for AJ.
He mentioned it. I mean, by the end, we all knew that, you know, this year would be the last year. We just didn't know it would be in January, of course.
Yeah. February on the Post Wrestling Cafe, we continue our review of Season 2 of WWE Unreal, including a big look at Seth Rollins' fake injury, which culminated in his appearance at SummerSlam. We're going to be looking back at Shinya Hashimoto with a special career retrospective on Rewind Away, plus a review of Extreme Rules 2011, as John Cena announces to the WWE audience that Osama bin Laden has been compromised to a permanent end. We'll also take a look at New Beginning in Osaka, TNA No Surrender, and new members can take advantage of a 7-day free trial. Go to postwrestlingcafe.com and jump on board in February.